Squid fishing in the Philippines is an important part of the fisheries sector, contributing greatly to the economy and livelihoods of coastal communities. The Philippines is an archipelagic country with a large sea area, rich in marine resources, including squid. Main fishing areas. Squid are commonly caught in coastal areas such as Visayas, famous for its rich fishing grounds. Mindanao, this area has many offshore fishing vessels and large fishing ports. Luzon, the western and eastern coasts of Luzon are also home to many fishing activities. Fishing methods. Common squid fishing methods in the Philippines include using lights, attracting squid to the boat area, trawl fishing, effective on a large scale, squid fishing, for small-scale fishermen, trap fishing, using traps to catch squid. Exports. Squid is an important export item, sold to markets such as Japan, Korea, the US and the EU. Domestic consumption. Squid is a popular ingredient in Filipino cuisine, with dishes such as adobong pusit, Filipino-style stir-fried squid. Climate change affects squid reproduction and population. Overfishing leads to the risk of depletion of the resource. Regional competition among Southeast Asian countries. The Philippine government, together with international organizations, is implementing programs such as sustainable fisheries management, supporting equipment and technology for fishermen, promoting squid farming as an alternative to wild fishing. The squid fishery is not only a source of livelihood but also an important part of Philippine culture. Sustainable management will help protect the industry in the future. Squid net fishing is a common method, especially in high-yield fisheries. There are several types of nets used depending on the scale and conditions of the fishery. Here are some common ways to catch squid using nets. Trawl net. This method is often used in industrial fishing. A trawl net, usually a funnel-shaped net, is dropped to the seabed or midwater layer. The net is pulled by a slow-moving vessel, creating pressure for the squid to enter. Lights are often used to attract squid to the area near the net. Advantages. High efficiency, large harvest, can be fished in deep waters. Disadvantages. Affects the seabed environment. Risk of bycatch. Purse seine. This method is effective in catching squid in midwater or near the surface. The vessel uses lights to attract squid to the surface at night. The purse seine is dropped around the squid school. When the squid are surrounded, the line at the bottom of the net is pulled back to seal the bag and pulled up to the vessel. Advantages. Reduces the chance of catching unwanted species. Suitable for both small and large vessels. Disadvantages. Requires a large and experienced workforce. Requires supporting equipment such as high-power headlights. Gill net. Traditional method, suitable for small-scale fishermen. The gill net is dropped straight into the water, secured with a buoy above and a lead below. The squid swims horizontally to meet the net and is caught by its whiskers or body. Advantages. Simple, low cost, suitable for small-scale fishermen. Disadvantages. Only catches small quantities. Ineffective in deep sea or strong waves. Notes on environmental protection. Use appropriate nets to avoid catching the wrong species. Ensure the mesh size is correct to avoid catching young squid. Comply with regulations on fishing areas and seasons to protect squid resources. Squid fishing with nets requires good technique and coordination between fishermen. At the same time, sustainable management measures need to be applied to protect natural resources. Lift net or stick-held dip net. This method is often used at night, when squid are easily attracted to light. This is a traditional fishing method but is still widely used in coastal areas. Preparing the trap net. The net is designed in a square or round shape, with a frame to fix the shape. Installed at a moderate depth, 1 to 5 meters from the water surface. Attracting squid. Using light from headlights or LED lights to concentrate squid into the net area. Lights are usually placed on or near the net. Trapping and pulling the net. When the squid school gathers in large numbers, the net is quickly lifted by a crane system or by hand. Advantages. Protecting the seabed environment. limiting the wrong species from being caught. Suitable for coastal fishermen. Disadvantages. Production depends on the density of the squid school. Poor performance without adequate lighting. Bottom set gill net. This method is used in deep sea areas where squid move close to the bottom. Drop net. The net is designed to be placed close to the seabed, secured with lead and anchor lines. The net has a large mesh size to catch only adult squid. Catching. Leave the net for a certain period of time, usually 4 to 8 hours, to allow the squid to become entangled. Retrieval. The net is pulled up by crane or by hand, collecting the squid caught in the net. Advantages. Effective with adult squid. Minimize impact on other water layers. Disadvantages. Risk of damage to the net if the seabed is rocky or coral. Needs positioning equipment to place the net accurately. To ensure the sustainability of squid fishing, regulations are often applied such as mesh size restrictions, prevent the capture of immature squid. Fishing areas and times, certain areas or seasons are protected to ensure reproduction. Reducing overfishing, encourage the use of sustainable and less harmful fishing methods. Applying appropriate fishing techniques and effective fishing ground management will help protect squid resources and support the livelihoods of fishermen. Night squid fishing is a popular and effective technique due to the characteristics of squid, which are often active and easily attracted to light at night. Here are the details on how to do it. Choose the time and location. A moonless or weak moon is ideal because artificial light will attract squid better. The sea area is 20 to 50 meters deep, near coral reefs or areas where squid often feed. Prepare the equipment. Squid net. You can use a gill net, purse seine or vertical net, depending on the size and characteristics of the sea area. Lighting. Halogen headlights, LED lights or mercury vapor, metal halide, lamps with white or blue light. High power. Gather squid with light. The boat is equipped with high power lights, arranged on the light poles or close to the water surface. The lights are turned on slowly to avoid scaring the squid, then gradually increase the brightness to attract squid from a distance. When the squid school gathers near the boat, usually takes 30 to 60 minutes. Start preparing the net. The net is dropped into the water area where squid has gathered. Gill net. Drop vertically. Use lead and buoy to fix. Purse seine. Surround the squid school area. Lift net. Place under the water surface and ready to pull up when the squid enters the net area. After a waiting period, about 15 to 30 minutes, pull the net up, with purse or vertical net. The net collection movement must be quick and even so that the squid does not escape. After being collected, the squid is collected in trays or cold storage compartments right on the boat. Types of nets commonly used in night squid fishing. Purse seine, highly effective with large quantities, often used for large capacity boats. Gill net, suitable for small-scale fishermen or shallow waters. Lift net, simple and popular for coastal fishermen. Use light properly. Lights must be arranged evenly around the boat to attract the squid evenly. Choose the right time. Early night is often the time with the most squid. Keep quiet. Loud noises can cause the squid to disperse. Maintain the net regularly. Make sure the net is not torn or covered with moss. Reducing fishing efficiency. Do not use lights that are too powerful to avoid disturbing the ecosystem. Comply with mesh size regulations to avoid catching young squid. Fishing according to the season and permitted areas to conserve resources. Night squid fishing not only brings high yields but is also an important part of the livelihood of many fishermen. However, implementation needs to be combined with sustainable management measures to protect the marine environment. Details of common types of nets used in night squid fishing. Gill net. Structure. Vertical net, with mesh size suitable for catching adult squid. Floating buoys are attached to the top of the net, and lead weights are attached to the bottom to keep the net upright. Fishing technique. The net is dropped in the direction of the wind or current so that the squid can easily get caught. After a period of time, usually 2 to 3 hours, the net is pulled up for inspection. Purse seine. Structure: a large rectangular net with a drawstring at the bottom to tighten the net like a bag. Focusing lights are used to gather squid into the net area. Fishing technique: the boat runs around the squid school to drop the net to surround it. When the net encircles the squid school, the bottom of the net is pulled back to keep the squid inside. Lift net. Structure: the net has Aquaculture and fishing in Japan are a key economic sector, playing an important role in providing food and protecting marine resources. Japan is famous for its advanced technology and sustainable management methods in both aquaculture and wild fishing. Aquaculture: high-tech development. Japan applies modern technology such as using robots, automatic management systems and sensors to monitor water quality, food, and fish health. Popular farm species: bluefin tuna, salmon, scallops, shrimp, and seaweed are the main farmed products. Sustainability: Japan places great emphasis on reducing environmental impact by applying measures to minimize pollution and recycle water. Wild fishing: traditional industry, fishing has been associated with the lives of Japanese people for centuries. With types such as inshore, offshore and deep-sea fishing, main species exploited: mackerel, tuna, salmon, squid, and other seafood. Resource management: Japan implements strict policies on fishing quotas, protected breeding seasons, and no fishing areas to avoid depletion of fishery resources. Tsukiji and Toyosu fish markets: these are the world's largest seafood trading centers, famous for their tuna auctions. Culinary culture: fresh seafood is an important ingredient in Japanese cuisine, especially sushi and sashimi. International cooperation: Japan actively participates in organizations such as the International Atlantic Tuna Commission (ICCAT) and the World Pacific Tuna Commission (WCPFC) to ensure sustainable fishing. Climate change affects sea temperatures and fish migration, making fishing more difficult. Facing international criticism, Japan has been criticized for its whaling activities. Although the country considers it part of its culture, investing in new technology, many Japanese companies are developing biotechnology to increase aquaculture production and reduce environmental impact. Japan is a model of combining tradition and modernity in the aquaculture industry, and is a leader in applying sustainable measures to protect the ocean. Japan is a pioneer in applying high technology to both aquaculture and fishing. Some typical examples: robots and AI. Robots are used to monitor the farming environment, feed fish, and harvest seafood. AI technology helps predict factors such as production, weather, and fish migration. Automated management systems. Fish farms apply automated systems to maintain water temperature, salinity, and oxygen, ensuring an ideal living environment for seafood. Recirculating aquaculture. Some facilities use closed-loop water recirculation systems (RAS), which reduce resource consumption and limit waste discharge into the environment. Application of genetic technology. Japan has successfully researched the technology to breed bluefin tuna, a species with high economic value but overfished in the wild. Japan owns one of the world's largest offshore fishing fleets, specializing in exploiting fishery resources in the Pacific, Indian, and Atlantic Oceans. Key features: modern fleet. Japanese fishing boats are equipped with radar, sonar, and advanced GPS positioning systems to locate fish schools. Processing industry. Seafood after being caught is processed right on board or at factories near the port, helping to maintain freshness and nutritional value. International cooperation. Japan often signs agreements with other countries to gain fishing rights in their waters, while complying with international regulations on protecting marine resources. Japan implements a number of management measures to ensure the sustainability of its fisheries. Catch quotas. Each year, the Japanese government sets quotas for each fish species based on population status and scientific data. Restricted areas and seasons. certain marine areas are strictly protected to allow seafood to reproduce and grow. Education and awareness. Japanese people are educated about the importance of marine resources, encouraging the use of sustainable seafood products. Despite its success, Japan's fisheries industry still faces many challenges. Depletion of fishery resources. Overfishing in many areas of the world is threatening the sustainability of the industry. International competition. Many countries are developing fisheries with lower prices, putting competitive pressure on Japan. Pollution and climate change. Warming seas, ocean acidification, and plastic waste are greatly affecting marine ecosystems. Boosting innovation. Japan continues to research and develop new technologies such as land-based fish farming or harnessing renewable energy from the sea. Developing tourism and marine culture. The fisheries industry not only contributes to the economy but also helps promote culinary culture and preserve traditions. Japan, with its balance between tradition and modernity, continues to be a model for sustainable development in the global fisheries industry. Fishing for yellowtail, Serial radiata, commonly known as hamachi or buri in Japanese, is an important industry in the Japanese fisheries sector. This fish has high economic value, is popular in Japanese cuisine and exported to the world. Scientific name, Serial radiata. Size, can reach 50 to 150 centimeters in length. Average weight from 2 to 10 kilogram. Distribution, yellowtail lives in warm waters, commonly found in the Pacific Ocean around Japan, Korea and Taiwan. Economic value, a popular ingredient in sushi and sashimi, especially hamachi sashimi and buri teriyaki. Technique, use purse seine, hand line, or mechanical line to catch fish in near shore and offshore waters. Main season, from December to March, when the fish reach their largest weight and the best meat due to fat accumulation in winter. Sustainable fishing. Japan applies quotas for yellowtail to prevent overfishing. Aquaculture. Floating cage farms. Yellowtail are raised in sea cages with a tightly controlled environment. Feed. Use processed food or wild fish. Some farms also develop plant-based food to reduce pressure on marine ecosystems. Quality. Farmed fish often have stable weight and softer meat than wild fish, which is popular for export. Environmental monitoring. Apply sensors to monitor water quality, temperature and oxygen to ensure a good living environment for fish. Hybridization technology. Japan has successfully researched the hybridization of yellowtail fish to increase productivity and disease resistance. Modern processing process. Fish are processed and preserved immediately after catching or harvesting to maintain freshness. Economic contribution. Yellowtail fish accounts for a large part of Japan's seafood export industry, especially to the US and European markets. Culinary culture, an indispensable part of traditional Japanese dishes, often used during festivals and New Year's. Tourism. Fish farming areas such as Ehime or Kagoshima often organize tours to visit farms and experience catching yellowtail fish. Climate change affects seawater temperature, changing the fish's living area. Supply pressure. Wild capture fisheries are on the decline due to resource conservation policies, while aquaculture is facing pollution and disease problems. Solution. Strengthen biotechnology research. Develop recirculating aquaculture models and apply sustainable management measures. Yellowtail is a symbol of the combination of traditional fishing and modern technology in the Japanese fisheries industry. Thanks to conservation and improvement efforts, the fish continues to play an important role in the country's marine economy and culture. Yellowtail, Serial radiata, commonly known as yellowtail, is an important industry in the fisheries sector, especially in Japan, where the fish is known as hamachi, young fish, or buri, adult fish. The species